future. Mark, let's bring you back in, because if we're talking behavioural change, we need to be looking at matters to do with pandemics and reactions to them.
Yeah, this is a review slide from 2 weeks ago. I had a week off due to some changes at UK Column. This is from the Daily Sceptic. I showed this back then 2 weeks ago. UN set to agree on a new political declaration on pandemics next week, and it's a horror show. While on September 20th, for UK Column, I covered another WHO virtual press conference, and I put a brief article just to get things rolling on my Hound blog, thetruthhound.com, where it's posted right now. Here's the headline: UK Column firsthand. WHO proudly announces the UN September 20 high-level declaration on pandemics. I covered the event. I took that picture with my tablet as a screenshot during the event. You can actually take photos, who knew? And this is a little bit from my article at the Truth Hound. This writer attended a virtual WHO press conference September 20th to document what the New York Times, the illustrious newspaper of record, evidently has failed to report, including in its September 21 and September 22 editions, and that is the WHO's announcement that the United Nations 193 member states did indeed approve, or that is, they gave a green light. They approved a high-level political declaration on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response, quote, end quote. And this is something from Tedros. The declaration is a strong signal from countries that they are committed to learning the lessons of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, really? And to strengthening the world's defenses against pandemics. WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus stated at the beginning of that September 20th midday press conference, and that was immediately after the UN General Assembly discussed and green-lighted this declaration. Curiously, I wrote, the Times reported on different UN General Assembly matters going on at the very same time concerning climate change and concerning Ukraine, with nary a word, in other words, nothing, on the relentless UN WHO movement toward a pandemic treaty and the updated international health regulations, both of which are on a parallel track. The treaty, always referred to as an accord or instrument by the UN and the WHO, apparently to downplay the matter in the eyes of the US Senate that's tasked with consenting to treaties. That treaty is targeted for completion, as we reported, in May of 2024. This high-level declaration, approved September 20th, is a major step toward that goal. Pretty much an exclusive here for UK Column, as far as I can tell. Moving on, I'll kind of cherry-pick this. I think it's best to probably go to Tedros' comment, but before I do that, I'll read my top paragraph from thetruthhound.com. Apparently, there were no General Assembly statements that the pandemic's lessons learned also could or should include the clear hazards of receiving experimental mRNA COVID injections, erroneously defined as traditional vaccines, that were rushed to market with little in the way of carefully administered experimental trials based on honest science. Typical Assembly statements, they read out of the same hymn book as the General Assembly commented on this. Thailand's delegate, for example, stressed that a new paradigm of cooperation is needed worldwide to enhance pandemic preparedness en route to digital health systems. Malta's spokesman noted, what happens anywhere happens everywhere, as all the delegates concurred that the next worldwide pandemic is only a matter of time. And Tedros himself, your friend and mine, said the following: we owe it to those we have lost to learn the painful lessons COVID-19 has taught us, and to make the changes that will keep our children and grandchildren safer from the pandemics of the future. Because we know that the next pandemic is a question of when, not if. In the declaration approved today, September 20th, this is at the press conference, member states have demonstrated that even at this time of division and polarization, it's still possible for countries to come together to agree on a shared response to shared threats. A lot of globalese being spoken here. It is the same spirit of collaboration that we urge countries to demonstrate as they continue their negotiations on the pandemic accord. I have to put the word treaty in there because they don't want to call it that, and the amendments to the international health regulations. And I believe we have a little bit more. These are the key things that I covered at that press conference. So they've taken this next step on the high level declaration. Now, just today, literally today, as we speak in Geneva, this is what's going on. And we're winding up here. As of today, they're having the Strategic Advisory Group of Experts on Immunizations, or SAGE, holding their regular meeting 25 through 29 September, and they're talking about the outcome of that. In other words, the press conference today, October 2nd, is about the outcome of that meeting, 25 through 29 September, to discuss recommendations on strategies and the uses of vaccines up to and including COVID-19 vaccines. So there's this strategic advisory group of experts on immunization talking about the COVID vaccine and other matters. It's happening today. I believe we had the list of participants as we wind up. That includes Tedros, the Director General of the WHO, Hannah Noynek, the chair of this SAGE organization, Diane Worth, chair of the Malaria Policy Advisory Group, Dr. Kate O'Brien, Director, Department of Immunization, Vaccines and Biologicals, WHO, et cetera. I would join that press conference, but it's happening literally in 2 minutes. So that'd be a little difficult. But that's the latest, Brian.
Okay, thank you very much for that alert, Mark, and a very important one it is.